Before we start today's TBR game, let me say a big thank you to today's content creators that have helped me with amazing contribution. Everybody that you're seeing in this video today, I have linked their social media down below so you can go visit them. And now let's dive into the February TBR game. Hello, welcome back on my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cece and I'm trying to combine bookish content with getting ready for van life. I'm planning to move into full-time van life at the end of this year, so until then we're trying to read as many physical books as possible to reduce that physical TBR that we still have. I just unhauled over 100 books, so if you haven't checked that out, I'm gonna link it up there. Yeah, we still have a lot to go, and I'm planning on filming a bookshelf tour of everything that I still have here very soon. These are some of the books that I'm already planning on reading in February. Now, what else do we prioritize? We have a few book club reads that I'm looking at here. How does my game work? I have ducks here with different colors on the bottom and they are representing different genres or categories. Green is for an arc. Black is for sci-fi or ethnofuturism. Orange is for fantasy. Purple, and one purple is more like a pink Sharpie with a P on the bottom right now. Historical fiction. Then yellow is for out of my comfort zone, and that pretty much includes short stories, non-fiction, horror, romance. There's a few that I would consider out of my comfort zone. And red is contemporary, and that includes everything from like thriller, romance, literary fiction, anything that plays in the now. So after picking a color, I'm going to draw a card from this stack that the lovely Addie drew for me, and they give me a challenge that I have to fulfill in this category. Now the goal overall is to, within a month, read all of the books within one category. I have successfully completed a color if all of the category has been read. If I don't successfully complete the color, I have a challenge that I have to do and vlog, and I haven't been filming it in December, and I've struggled to film it in January for December, so I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do about that. I don't know, I'm gonna have to come up with something, but in December and January I was really struggling with filming these challenges. But I know that you love to watch these, and I know that I pick them so I can also do them when I'm on the road full time, but yeah, life. The game is over if I have at least picked 2 greens and 5 picks altogether. All right, let's get started. And the first one, let us choose this little yellow ducky here. And the first pick is orange for fantasy. Now let's see, what is our prompt for orange? Let a friend pick for me. I have Eric from Break Even Books who has pre-recorded a video for me for this instance, so I don't have to wait for somebody to record something. Or if you want to actually make me read a book, please feel free to record one in any of these categories and just send me the video with a category. If you want to know which books I already own, if you want to pick from these, my Goodreads shelf want to read is literally all the books that I own, and you can look at Goodreads. It's very, very updated what I have already read. So feel free to send a video to me with a category and just your name, and I'm just gonna put it into my Dropbox where I'm going in if I am picking this card. So feel free to send me one. I would love to have your recommendation up here. So now let's see what Eric wants me to read.
Hi Cece, if you have stumbled upon this video, I mean, this is your video now, but if you have this, that means that you are going to read the book that I'm recommending for you for this month. And I looked on your wish list and this one was on there marked as to read. So I'm going to get you to read Crier's War by Nina Varela. This book is so good and I am so excited to hear your thoughts on it. I think you are going to absolutely adore it. I'm building it up and who knows, you might not like it, but I think you really will enjoy this one. This one's about a world where it's kind of mixed, so there's like two races. There's humans and then there's things called autome, which are kind of like, they're like robots, but they need the humans to survive. And so it's the two of them coexisting, and it's kind of set in like medieval times. So it's kind of like a mixture of like fantasy and sci-fi, in my opinion. But man, I loved this book. It was so good. This is a duology, so it's not a huge commitment if you want to read this one and the sequel. But yeah, anyways, this is my recommendation for you.
Thank you, Eric, putting this as the first pick. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Yeah, thank you. Great recommendation. Already loving this. Let's pick a pink one. Fantasy again. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Let a friend pick for you. Are you for real? Okay, we do have somebody else, I believe, that picked fantasy for me.
Hi Cece, it's Q from the channel QWERTY, and I'm here to recommend you a fantasy read. It's a beautiful story that I think everyone should be reading, and I think it needs to be talked about a lot more, and that is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones.
Okay, I've already read that, so thank you for the recommendation, Q, but this one will have to go. What else do we have?
Hey Cece.
Hey.
We're the Remy's Digest, if you guys don't know, and we are
Love these
recommending
two.
you a book.
For your TBR.
Yes.
Okay, so we decided to come up with something that could like work for you, since there are two of us.
We have different
Rex.
Yes.
Okay.
So we decided, out of the two books that we recommend to you, you can pick one of them.
Yes.
If you want to be crazy and do both,
I will love that.
yeah, that would
but
be really
that's
cool.
your decision.
But
Just-
that's, you know,
these are a little thick,
little
cups.
thickies,
Ooh.
little thickies. And it's your TBR, so, you know, do what you want to do. But yeah, so we decided I'm going to recommend you a fantasy book, and this is a highly recommended fantasy book from the books that I've read this year. It's called City of Brass.
What?
I know, it's crazy.
What?
I have
I
already
know.
read that one,
About
but I've never, I haven't
But
continued
if you
this
guys know our channel, like I have been reading the trilogy, the David Bad trilogy, and City of Brass is so good. But also, the books after it are so good. So I'm going to set you up for success, Cece, and say, go ahead and start City of Brass, and you can thank me later.
And I'm also, preparing you for the drama, of a space exploration. Just greatness, truly.
We're gonna stop right here because that sounds like sci-fi, so I'm going to remark this video sci-fi and going to Monique's rec when I'm gonna pick sci-fi, and I'm gonna go with Christine's rec for fantasy. So I have already read City of Brass, but I have not continued in the series. So I'm going to continue in the series and read the next one, which is it Kingdom of Copper? Is that the second one? I don't know, but let's continue in that series. So I think as of right now, I do not have any fantasy left in my pool of friends telling me what to read. Oh, I still have one more. Okay. But if you want to, feel free to recommend me one. Pick number 3. Let's pick a yellow duck again. Okay. I'm the king of this game. And we have purple, historical fiction. I haven't thought this through with like water and cards and water damage to the cards. And me being like a total klutz when it comes to destroying stuff. Anywho. We're going with lowest number of ratings on Goodreads. Okay, so let's go into Goodreads. Now we're sorting for number of ratings. Lowest number of ratings is probably a German book because they just have less ratings because less people. So this is the highest amount of ratings. Now reverse that. Do I have a German historical fiction? I don't know. I think this is a fantasy, sci-fi dystopian, fantasy, sci-fi. Ooh, When the Missouri ran red, a novel of the Civil War. That sounds like historical fiction. Historical fiction, yes. Okay, that's awesome. That is an arc that I have that I'm actually really looking forward to. Awesome. All right. Pick a number 4. Pink, here we go. A black sci-fi ethnofuturism. Love it. Okay. And we're doing, have I read it? Okay, cool. Cool. So technically, have I read it is referring to have I read it in the past year, meaning have I put it onto my monthly TBR and ended up actually reading it. I haven't sorted it yet. Let's go. What have I had on my December TBR? I think I might have had Goddess in the Machine at one point last year. In January. It was on my TBR in January. So let's just take Goddess in the Machine. Pick number 5. I think it's time for some green. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some green. It's time for yellow again. There we go. I'm getting better at this whole like picking ducks out thingy. Purple, historical fiction, and not a green yet again. Friend picks a prompt. Okay. Let's see if somebody is available. I mean, I have found somebody who's online. The person who has created these beautiful cards. Okay, so she's saying, I know something might be challenging, though. Okay, so the prompt is... Let me have it. Let's have it. Oh! Ooh. Find a book that is starring an elderly person. Okay. Okay. Any of this historical fiction? No. Okay. So let's go through my want to reads. I think I need to sort my want to read into like these categories so I can find them easier. Hours later. You're right, this is a tough one, but it's doable. I know that. That's not historical fiction. I need to sort my books into the categories that I have in this game, and it would be much easier to find a book that matches the prompt if I actually am looking in the right category. Right now, most of my time is just trying to find, does the book fit the category? This is a young adult. Probably not. Oh, let's go for Snowflower and the Secret Fan, which is told by... the novel begins in 1903 when Lily is 80 years old and continues to tell the story of her life from birth through marriage and every way through. So the voice in theory is an elderly woman. Go. All right. Pick number 6. After saying that I get better at this, completely failing to do this. There we go. Sci-fi Afrofuturism again. We need some green now. Okay, let's go with this one. A hardcover. Okay. That's fantasy. That's sci-fi, but I don't have that as a hardcover. Okay. I don't have them as a hardcover. So that is not helpful. So for this one, we are choosing Wayfarer by Alexandra Bracken. I really loved the first one, Passenger. It's a YA fantasy, sci-fi, time travel. And I'm in the mood for it, and also I believe this is a duology, so I would be finishing a series, so that's good. Okay, so I need this TBR to stay relatively manageable, so give me green. This one doesn't want to. Please be green. Yes, okay, good. The other one didn't want to, but green did. Wild card. Okay, cool. A wild card, a wild card, a wild card. So, what do we have on our ARC list that I want to read? So I think I'm gonna go with The Last Graduate, The Skullman's 2, to continue in the series, and I think it's ticking some of the box too. But I'm going to keep it flexible in case something else comes up and I need to switch it out. Next prompt. Please be green again. I could use to be done with this because this is number 8 and it's orange. It's another fantasy. All right, I have a lot of books that are fantasy that want to be read. And I think 2 more in my TBR already. So we have Oldest on my TBR. Okay. And we go to date added. Oldest on my TBR. The oldest fantasy is a Game of Thrones, but that doesn't count because I already read it and I put it on my want to read because I want to reread it, so that doesn't count. So we have a choice of Daughter of the Burning City, Winter Song, Graceling, Wrath of Dawn, The Last Namsara. All right, let's go with Daughter of the Burning City. Wicked, wicked to the core. The city will burn forevermore. I was close to unhauling this one because there's a few vibes that I'm not feeling, but then there's a few other vibes that I am feeling, and I have enjoyed Amanda Foodie in the past, and I love the cover, and there's just a few things that I feel drawn to, so let's give it a try. If we DNF, we have succeeded. So I do not count DNF as failing a prompt. I count DNF as succeeding if it is then actually unhauled and I'm done with it. Pick number 9. I would be happy to be done now. Okay, let's pick you. Yellow, and the sticker's almost falling off. I was hoping we could go 1 month without yellow. Nope. Not happening. Damn it. So far, I'm excited about every single book on this TBR, and now we have to add yellow. Oh. Let a friend pick for you. Okay, let's see if I still have one.
Hi Cece, it's Q from the channel QWERTY, and I have a recommendation for you out of your comfort zone, and this is a horror pick, which I too do not read a ton of horror, because if I do, it's gotta be really, really good, and I don't like really gory, horrific things like that. I like more suspenseful, a little bit more on the paranormal side of things when it comes to horror stories. And this book, in particular, the audiobook version of this book was just gorgeous. And it's like an immersive audiobook, which I highly recommend trying it out there. But that book is And the Trees Crept In by Dawn Kurtagich, which follows a young girl and her little sister who go live with her kind of, not long lost aunt, but kind of in this super creepy house. And a lot of weird things happen from her aunt's childhood story with her 2 sisters, and there may be some paranormal things. There may be a really big twist of an ending, and it's kind of her trying to survive in this house with, you know, they don't really have a lot of food, and things are turning for the worse in all of their mentalities. So it's a little bit more of a psychological thriller with some horror aspects, but it's an experience, okay? I can't describe it in any other word but an experience. So here you go, have an experience.
Okay. I don't know if I'm excited about it or not. I am kind of, but also not. But okay. Number 10. I mean, I love picking these and I love thinking about what book would fit, but also I kind of need to read them, and this is pick number 10. I think this is already over my limit. And we have another sci-fi ethnofuturism. At least it's not yellow or red, which I'm not in the mood for. And we're doing From the Top Shelf. Okay, sci-fi or ethnofuturism from the top shelf. So let's take a look at the top shelf. So this is the top shelf up here. The shelf that I've been speaking about. Okay, we said sci-fi, ethnofuturism. So we have, I think The Kingdom is sci-fi, and then Want, to Phoenix, I think are both sci-fi. October Sky sci-fi. Sentence to Prism sci-fi. Sky Hunter. I think we're gonna go with Sentence to Prism because I've been asked to read this for a while now. So if you've been following along on my reading sprints, I've been asked to read an Ellen Dean Foster by one of the people participating for such a long time. So that's why it was on my top shelf. And yeah, this is my first one and I'm super excited to get into this. Pick number 11. Give me something that I can pick from my already existing, or give me green. I love choosing books, but I actually have to read them. So, please be green. Please be green, 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 please be green. That has worked in the past. Green! Yes! Alright, let's pick a good prompt. The last prompt of the day is title with 3 or less words. We can do that. Let's go with censored. I've had this on my TBR a couple of times. I really want to get to this. I'm super stoked about this, so let's put it back on. All right, this is it. We have a total of 11 books on my TBR, and we have some amazing picks that I'm really looking forward to. Share with me which one would you be most excited to read? Which one have you read and are excited for me to read? Share your knowledge and experience. I am stoked for February, and I already know that I'm not going to be able to read it all. And that's going to be okay. That's going to be okay. All right. Until then, see you. Bye.
Just loving this moment. Can we stay here?